I think that every generation experiences the natural world differently.
Like the 50s and 60s, like this glorified, like Yellowstone, go see the bears.
Maybe during like my parents' generation, the park system was sort of blooming and emerging, whereas now it's a bit more in place.
The last generation, it was more like, let's take the whole family in the camper van and spend a week in Yellowstone.
My dad always took us camping.
I went a lot of places when I was in a stroller.
I visited Yellowstone.
We went to a lot of national parks, did a lot of camping.
Zion, Bryce.
I don't really remember any of it.
We used to actually go to Joshua Tree.
I went to them all when I was a little kid, but I was like 3 years old. My parents said I cried the whole time. I was like, oh no, I've changed.
I mean, I never grew up in a family or anything like that where we went out and kind of explored that much.
I used to like outdoor, but I didn't have any opportunities to do anything other than bike in the roads.
I've never seen the mountains before. I've never been past Illinois.
The way national parks were developed for visitation is that they were made for automobile driving through.
Older couples in their RVs with their walking sticks.
Living the life.
No judgment, full respect.
Oh, I can't wait to be there.
We've usually been the youngest people.
There's definitely the older crowd that's still here. People who have been dirtbagging it before I was born.
So we do get a lot of youth from places like China, sometimes even France, Germany, that come here, and they usually seem pretty excited.
People in my generation, yeah, they experience national parks a little differently. I think it's more active, for one.
With our generation, it's more like just kind of scattershot and let's go.
Our generation definitely appreciates beautiful places.
I think our generation is getting out there a lot more.
My family and friends, they thought I was crazy.
My family has really followed me into the outdoors.
People who are starting to actually get out in the backcountry.
It seems to me that there's definitely been a push towards being out in the nature more.
I mean, every time we go to Kipahulu and camp, it's full, and majority is young people.
So yeah, I mean, I think my generation definitely comes.
I feel like most of my generation is moving to the city. We find like way more value and importance in getting out of the city too, you know? There's not like this middle ground.
Wanted to get away from the busy LA life.
I actually was deep into the freelance photography, trying to have fashion going on with all of it.
I moved to Los Angeles, I was living in Venice Beach, I'm working in fashion.
It just started to ring hollow after a while.
And just hit the brakes. Like, I was like, absolutely not, I'm going to Zion.
I should say that we don't take it for granted.
There's a lot of millennials that are crippled by student debt, and so a lot of the times I think it is difficult for people to leave their jobs.
You can always come back to the city. There's, it's always there waiting for you.
What would John Muir think about right now? What would he think about the paved roads and all the people out here seeing it and appreciating it? And I honestly think that he would be excited that so many people get so excited about nature.
I'm so happy that this is the generation that I get to be a part of. I think that my kids are gonna be like, man, mom, you guys just took off in your vans, you all quit your jobs.
The different way that we're experiencing parks is that we're doing it in a more interactive way, so we'll tweet it, we'll Instagram it.
We use Google Maps to find all sorts of parks to go camping in.
Airbnb, and you can go look at trails and topo maps.
I use birding apps to identify birds.
It's easier than ever.
The question is, where's the line?
There's always this debate of people are like,
how much are you actually looking at what you're seeing?
Even though they're in nature, they're seeing it still through a screen.